As the World Series moves deeper into its thrilling stages, two iconic figures from the Philadelphia Phillies' golden era, Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins, sit down to break down what's left of the championship journey. These two legends, who once carried the Phillies on their backs to a World Series title, know exactly what it takes to perform under the brightest lights. Their insight, passion, and deep understanding of postseason baseball make this preview more than just commentary. It's a masterclass in mindset, momentum, and legacy. Howard begins by reflecting on how the World Series always tests more than talent. It tests patience, emotional control, and timing. You can't win a championship in one swing, he says with a grin, leaning back in his chair. But you can lose it if you let emotions take over. The slugger who once terrified pitchers with his power now speaks like a philosopher of the game, reminding fans and players alike that baseball's biggest battles are often internal. Jimmy Rollins nods, adding his trademark confidence. Baseball in October isn't about stats anymore, it's about heart. You could hit .200 in the regular season, but if you show up when it counts, you become a legend. Rollins' words echo the reality every player faces in these moments. Every pitch, every at-bat, and every decision defines history. They both agree that momentum is everything. Howard compares it to riding a wave. Once a team catches fire, even the most dominant opponent can crumble under the pressure. You see it all the time, he explains. A team down 0-2 comes home, wins one, and suddenly the energy shifts. The crowd, the confidence, everything changes. It's contagious. Rollins laughs, saying that when he played, he could feel that shift in the air. You'd walk into the ballpark and know something was different. The energy in October is heavier, like you're breathing electricity. His words paint a vivid picture of what it feels like to stand in the batter's box with 40,000 people holding their breath. The conversation turns to pitching, the backbone of every World Series team. Howard points out how crucial bullpen management has become in the modern game. Back in our day, you'd see starters go 7, 8 innings. Now it's a chess match from the third inning on. He admires how managers are using analytics but also warns that numbers don't measure nerves. Rollins agrees but adds that the evolution of bullpen depth has changed how hitters approach the game. You might face 3 different guys in one night who all throw 98. That's tough. You can't prepare for that with one game plan. His tone carries respect for the new generation of flamethrowers, but also pride in having played in a grittier era. Then, they both discuss the importance of leadership in the clubhouse, something they personally mastered. You can't fake chemistry, Rollins says firmly. You either have a team that believes, or you don't. You can tell by how guys react after a tough loss. He explains that great teams talk things out, while bad teams go silent. Howard nods, recalling 2008. We had moments where we didn't play our best, but nobody panicked. We trusted each other. That's what wins championships. He believes that's what separates good teams from great ones, trust in the man beside you when everything's on the line. The pair then break down some of the current stars in the World Series, praising their drive and adaptability. Howard is impressed by how today's hitters adjust pitch by pitch. It's like watching chess at 100 miles per hour, he says, admiring the mental toughness. Rollins points out that base running, something often overlooked, can decide entire games. A stolen base, a smart read off a single, that can be the difference between winning and losing a ring. When the topic shifts to defense, both light up. Defense wins championships, Rollins says immediately, reminding viewers that one missed play can haunt a team forever. You make a diving stop, you save a run. That's as big as a home run in October. Howard laughs, remembering how many times Rollins saved him from errors at first base. J-Roll had my back, man. If a ball even thought about getting through the infield, he'd be there. Their chemistry, even in retirement, is still electric, the same spark that powered their run more than a decade ago. The two then analyze the pressure young players face on this stage. Rollins says the key is staying grounded. Everyone dreams of this moment, but you can't let it eat you alive. Treat it like another game, because if you make it too big, it'll crush you. Howard adds that every at-bat in October is like facing your own reflection. You see what you're made of. The crowd disappears. It's just you and the pitcher. That's what defines who can handle it. As the conversation deepens, they reflect on how fans influence the outcome. Home field advantage is real, Howard says. You feel it in your chest. The noise, the emotion, it lifts you up. Rollins adds that when the crowd believes, it gives players an edge that can't be measured in stats. That's why October baseball is special, it's not just a game, it's theater. They also acknowledge the role of veterans who set the tone for the locker room. You need that one guy who keeps everyone loose, Rollins says. When we played, guys like Shane Victorino and Chase Utley kept things balanced. Every team needs that. Howard points out how crucial it is for stars to step up when it matters most. You can't hide in the World Series. Someone's going to make history, either for the right reason or the wrong one. He smiles knowingly, as if recalling every clutch moment that made him a legend. The two shift to talking about resilience, how championship teams always find ways to respond. Rollins brings up the 2008 postseason again. We got punched in the mouth a few times. But every time, we came back stronger. That mental toughness, he says, is what separates contenders from champions. Howard chimes in with a reminder that baseball humbles everyone. Even the best go 0-for-4 sometimes. The question is, how do you show up the next day? He emphasizes that greatness isn't perfection, it's persistence. They both admire how teams today blend young talent with seasoned veterans. That balance is everything, Rollins says. The young guys bring energy. The vets bring calm. When that clicks, it's magic. As they continue dissecting the strategy, Rollins highlights how important preparation is. People think we just show up and play, but the mental reps, the video sessions, that's where championships are won. Howard adds that hitting in October is as much about confidence as mechanics. You can have the best swing in the world, but if you doubt yourself, it's over. He reminds fans that even legends feel fear, the trick is channeling it into focus. The two also share respect for managers navigating high-pressure decisions. Rollins praises those who trust their instincts. Sometimes the numbers say one thing, but your gut says another. The great managers know when to go with their heart. Howard laughs, saying he's seen plenty of analytical moves backfire. Baseball isn't math, it's human. His words land with weight, as millions watching the World Series see exactly how unpredictable the game can be. They turn their attention to the fans once more, acknowledging how the emotion of the postseason unites generations. Baseball brings families together, Rollins says warmly. Kids, grandparents, strangers, everyone feels like part of something bigger. Howard agrees, saying that even years after retiring, fans still tell him where they were during his biggest moments. That's what it's all about. You don't just play for stats, you play for memories. Their conversation slows as they reflect on legacy. Rollins says he wants young players to understand that greatness isn't about one season or one highlight, it's about consistency and character. What you do when no one's watching, that's what builds champions. Howard looks thoughtful, adding, you don't realize it when you're in it, but those moments become your story. Every strikeout, every homer, every mistake, it all matters. They both agree that the World Series is more than a championship, it's a mirror of the human spirit. It's about resilience, teamwork, and courage, Rollins says softly. And that's why we love it. Howard smiles and adds the final word. At the end of the day, baseball reminds us that no matter how many times you fall, there's always another pitch coming. As the lights fade and the two legends wrap up their discussion, their words linger, a powerful reminder that baseball's beauty lies not just in who wins, but in the journey itself. The World Series continues, but for Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins, every inning carries echoes of their own glory days, and a timeless truth about chasing greatness, one pitch at a time.